Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle and I'm here with the Stunticons, MENASOR, all 5 Stunticons to form this giant super robot who never quite kicks anyone's ass except Bruticus at one time, but probably Devastator and his weird doppelganger. But anyway, we got all these and we are gonna go through them. I know a lot of other people have videos out there already, but I don't really care. We have Motormaster, ooh, in the box. We have Breakdown, and he's actually called Breakdown. We have Wild Rider, and not some weird breakneck bullshit. Dead End. And we have oh, sorry, wrong Dragstrip. And we have no, sorry, shit, wrong one. Oh, we have Dragstrip right here. All right, so lots of versions. We're gonna go through them one by one and see if MENASOR will fit into your collection. Be right back. So yes, as I mentioned, a lot of people out there likely have videos out already about these guys. I don't really care. I have something that they don't. The Stunticons Race Team t-shirt. And if you want to know where to get it, well, get a time machine, go back to BotCon, then you can get one. All right, so we're gonna start off with the king of the road, Motormaster himself. Now, I've been getting these all along. I haven't opened any of them, so this one's probably gonna be the most complicated. Those, we'll see. I was waiting to get them all. So, very nice box, by the way. And we pull it out, and there's lots of cardboard. Go away. We have instructions. Those might come in handy, because there's a whole bunch of shit in here. Cardboard. We have a trailer. Not a movie trailer, just a trailer. We have a cab, and they hook in together. Now, there's gotta be more stuff, or not. I'm not seeing anything. Seems an awful big box for something that's just this, but it's all good, we'll figure it out. Let's see, really? So this is Decepticon Motormaster, though we know him as the Stunticon leader. A lot of instructions here, damn. It actually has instructions on how to hook up the trailer to the cab. So since it's in vehicle mode, which is the only one starting out like that, let's see, it's actually nice and big. When you look at Optimus and his trailer, definitely on par, maybe a little bigger. It's got the extra windows up here, sleeper cab maybe, I don't know. I'm not an expert on these trucks, but very cool. The trailer's a little shorter. I've heard that before I even opened it, that this is a little shorter than we might have expected, but it's a trailer. Now, let's see how we can get this thing into its various modes. But I do want to say, it rolls pretty decent for a later model thing. I do notice that a couple of the wheels aren't necessarily hitting the ground. I think that's by design or whatever. But the wheels that are near the back aren't touching the surface, so they're not really rolling. At least not on this side or on the other side. Still a very cool Motormaster, much bigger than the original, whew, by a long shot. But all right, there's 2 steps to this because there's the robot, and then there's the trailer. And then the trailer also turns into like a battle platform, apparently. And of course, the trailer is also instrumental in creating MENASOR. So, got a lot to read here. All right, but let's get this cab, which is very nice. I do want to say, it looks very nice, just not to ignore it. It's got the nice Decepticon symbols on the sides. Definitely a cool version of Motormaster so far. So there Motormaster is in robot mode. I gotta say, very reminiscent of the G1 show. Very cool, love the head, which always looked kind of blocky. And apparently, the sword is in the trailer, as is the gun, which seems pretty damn long. And it's got 2 handles on it, so there he is, armed. We will get to the trailer in just a bit. Let's take a look at this robot mode. So, of course you know I had to do it. Full toes up, Jean-Claude Van Damme, not a problem. He has ankle swivels that are actually very swivelly, ankle rockers. Bends at the knee, he pivots with the leg, and his leg can go forward, back. Good range of motion on the lower body. And apparently he can do the twist, which is a nice thing. His arms, well, he's got these huge weapons, but they have a good range of motion. They swivel, bend at the elbow to about 90 degrees. It doesn't look like it goes beyond that. Straightens out, his elbow doesn't go backwards as some things do. The fists themselves, I'm gonna take out the sword, also do twist, so you can twist the fists if you need to. I'm gonna take off this gun too, just because it's big. No, it's not jealousy. So his shoulders can go in a number of directions. His head turns as well, which is a very nice thing. Original, no, forget about it. Very posable figure. Here's his back view. He's got a post here, which is like the trailer hitch. Maybe you can put something in there. We'll maybe see. But overall, a very good figure, very good representation of Motormaster G1. So I am digging him so far. He's got the Decepticon symbol on his shoulder, nothing on his chest, just on the shoulder. And he stands pretty tall. I think I've transformed him correctly. I don't see anything out of place except when I pop out of place. So very cool for the leader of the Stunticons, even though they don't call them Stunticons. Call them Decepticons. I mean, they are Decepticons, but they're also Stunticons. All right, so his trailer detaches. Obviously, eventually it's gonna form MENASOR at some point. I gotta say, feeling how this is, it doesn't actually feel all that sturdy. Some of the plastic on this trailer seems a little meh. So there it is, the battle station base thing. I mean, really, kind of a fort with one gun and all this other stuff. I don't know what it's for. It just looks good. So there it is. I will probably never put it in this mode again, but it's what you get out of the trailer. So, I mean, how many people open up the Optimus Prime trailer and set up roller? Well, probably more than will do this, but all right. We will come back to that because that is part of the transformation into MENASOR. I can tell because I can see feet and all this other shit. Let's get on to the other guys. So first we'll go with breakdown. Instructions, bot, drugs. Now, I'm sure this is a weapon of some sort. A weapon and a spoiler. Spoilers. Shh. So as I do not want to lose fingers or blood or any of that stuff, I'm being very careful in cutting that out, as I would recommend you be careful as well. And while I applaud the lack of plastic, plastic was easier to cut. All right, he is in bot mode, so we're gonna start with that. And he can use a spoiler as a shield. That's a thin shield. I mean, I guess it could be a weapon or a boomerang. It can also apparently provide some coverage on the outside of his weapon. I don't know why you would do that, but it can. Now, he was a little mistransformed in the package. I think that's right. It looks right according to the picture. He looks pretty good. Let's examine this bot mode. Full. Toes up, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Not a big surprise. His legs swivel. He does bend at the knee. Nice there. Can go off to the side. Really good ankle rockers for dynamic posing. He can twist at the waist. Might be part of the transformation, maybe not, we'll see. And his arms are pretty good. Rotates all the way around, except you can't go through his back parts, but goes up and down. It's got a swivel, bends at the elbow. The fists themselves, let's take out the gun, do not twist. But, you know, this is more of a deluxe size and it's more understandable. We'll put these over here. But yeah, decent robot mode. The head does turn. Wee, wee, wee. Looking at his back, he's got a lot of kibble there. That's not a great looking back, but I mean, the original pretty much just had like the front of the car hanging down, so it's not too bad. But yeah, pretty posable. A good representation of the G1 character, even if the back looks a little clunky, but we will see about that. Let's put him into vehicle mode. Try to move this along. So there he is in car mode. He rolls pretty decently. A little better than some of the Siege stuff. He's about 5 inches long, a little smaller than some, I think, of the Siege bots, but not annoyingly so. I don't know exactly what kind of car he's supposed to be. Let me know in the comments. I'm not a car guy, but very exacting as far as the transformation. Had a little trouble getting the hood in place, but overall decent car. And it's got weapon storage on the bottom, which is great because he doesn't have this big old cannon hanging off of him that takes away the whole robots in disguise thing. Of course, the Decepticon symbol on the hood kind of gives it away. I see Decepticon symbols on cars all the time. Autobot ones too. I don't think they're Autobots. But it looks good. I like the transformation, though it was, again, a little bit difficult to get into place, but nice car. I like it. Move on to Wild Rider. Now, as I get this praised Decepticon Stunticon out of the box, if you saw the original Transformers cartoon, the Stunticons had these force fields, they could fly. They basically were wiping the floor with the Autobots. And that lasted till the end of that two-part thing, and then they weren't nearly as difficult to defeat anymore. You don't really see them flying, you don't see them doing all the stunts, you don't see them using their force fields to smash through things quite so easily. I don't know why. Well, basically, you don't want to have an unstoppable foe for the Autobots, but I don't know what the in-canon explanation is for their lack of powers. It was such a big deal in the beginning. So much so that the Autobots needed airplanes to fight against them. But yeah, then those powers went away and pretty much it. All right, in the wrapper, we've got two guns. And we've got the figure. And again, I'm thinking this probably has to go back here. Looks like a similar setup to Breakdown, but cool looking figure. There he is in all his glory. I am loving the fact that the heads on these guys, I haven't said it before, are very reminiscent of the G1 cartoon. I mean, the spikes aren't so far out, but you don't want to put an eye out now, do you? There he is with his two guns, and of course, I'm pretty sure it's got all the same posability. Full Jean-Claude Van Damme, bendable at the knees. No turning of the fists, but his head turns, his twists, all that stuff. So pretty much the same posability. So I'm not gonna go to huge things here, but lovely articulation. Back looks about the same as Breakdown. And again, very cool homage to the original G1 from the cartoon. The toy, he didn't have spikes on his head because, you know, that would have interfered with the whole transformation thing. I don't think I need to refer to the instructions because I think he transforms the exact same way. Just going out on a limb here. I've noticed getting the hood into place, it's got little slots that it goes into, and if you don't have it lined up exactly right, it doesn't like you very much. It just causes a little bit of a problem. But once you get it in the spot, it's all good. Hey, what do you know? Transforms exactly the same way. That's engineering for you. Now, this one does not have a spoiler. There he is in car mode. I am gonna look in the instructions because I do wanna see. It appears there is no, wait. Nope, there is no under vehicle storage. So Wild Rider gets two guns. You can either plug them in together or you can put them on the top like this. Doesn't seem to roll as well as Breakdown. Maybe I need to push these in a little bit more. Yeah, again, most of the cars that Hasbro's put out that are Transformers, most of them don't roll that well. Anyways, that is Wild Rider. Cool car, but you see a car coming down the road with two honking guns on the back. I'd be a little concerned. Making a mess. Why not? Now, as I showcased earlier, there's been a lot of drag strips, even more so than his brethren, just because there was this cool one that was a repaint of Mirage. I'll have to talk about him sometime. He does not have drugs. Why didn't you bring the drugs? He was like the first one put out, and it's interesting to see the packaging evolve because he's got all the plastic, as did Wild Rider, but Breakdown did not have plastic. And I do like the fact that they're giving them like two guns at times so that if you are putting the weapon in their vehicle mode, it's not like hanging on one side. I always hate that. It's like, give me symmetrical. All right, got him out. And another one of these. Has anyone ever bothered to read it? Warning, choking hazard, small parts. Not for children under 3 years. Those over 3 years, choke them all you want. All right, so his robot mode and such, a little bit different than Breakdown and Wild Rider, so I'm expecting it to be a little bit different in the transformation, but we'll see. We'll look at the instructions if need be, but let's take a look at the robot mode. He's got his two guns, full toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme. If you don't know who Jean-Claude Van Damme is, go look him up and go watch like Bloodsport, which is one of his better movies, and he's got a bunch out there. Don't expect a ton of super plot and acting, but Universal Soldier, another good one. All right, so full Jean-Claude Van Damme means he can do a really good split. Bends at the knees. He's got swivels, he can move in all directions. He's got ankle rockers, which are kind of like his spoilers, and he can really spread his legs a lot. Don't get any ideas, guys, or girls. His arms got the swivel. They pretty much go all the way around. A little bit of rubbing here, so I wouldn't do that too much unless you want to wear down the paint. And besides, it goes far enough for just about everything. He can shoot up. He can shoot to the side, he can swivel, he can do gangster style, and he can turn his head. It was a little stiff. All right, let's hit the waist. So again, I'm not surprised at the amount of posability. I'm pleased with it, but I'm not surprised. And apparently, if he doesn't want to walk around carrying his guns, he can plug them in to the back of his legs. This is how he looks in the back. Not too kibbly, but he can plug them into the back of his legs, which is a nice storage option. Because, you know, what if he needs to punch somebody, you know? Doesn't want to just pistol whip him. All right, transformation doesn't look too different. The fists don't turn, by the way, if I didn't mention that. I'm mentioning that now. All right, it is a little different because he's got extra wheels. I'm liking this transformation a bit better than the other ones because it's a little more interesting. I think it's very clever that his head seems to become kind of the seat. So, you know, it's kind of empty-headed then. Gotta say, I like the transformation on Dragstrip a little bit better than the other guys, and I'm glad it's not every single guy is the same, which was pretty much the G1 version. As you can see, the weapon storage is on him, so again, not much of a disguise, and I don't think that they let him on a racetrack with these cannons. I mean, rolling-wise, he slides. He can kind of roll on carpet, but I mean, how much are you really gonna roll him around? There he is, nice race car mode. Like the detailing on the engine, again, the bucket head. And the bottom is very clean, and here's my cat, Sky. It's like, what is taking you so long? I got all these transformers to go through. And finally, we have Dead End, who's very depressed all the time. And he has the non-plastic free packaging, because he's got plastic and he's got the drugs. The drugs, see the drugs. You're right in the way. Did you want that? Did you want that? You want that? You want that? So there he is in his robot mode. I am throwing out this crap. I will say that it's a little easier to clean up after the non-plastic packaging than the plastic packaging, but still easier to snap these guys out. Now, transformation seems a little bit different than the other ones, but probably on par overall. Robot mode, he's got these two purple tipped pistols that when he's holding them, he can't bend his elbow all the way. So we'll just put this one over here. He looks good. Again, full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Bends at the knees, ankle rockers, so the ankle rockers have like weird wings on the side, but still, not a big deal. Twists at the waist, not a huge surprise at this point. Head turns, arms freely go all the way around. There's also a little bit of give, probably part of the transformation in these wheels here. The fists do not turn, which is expected at this point, but he's got the swivel. So, very nice version of Breakdown, and he actually looks much nicer in the back than some of his teammates. You know, it's still a friggin' car hood on the back, but it's not like in pieces. And looking at the transformation, he does have some aspects of Dragstrip as far as flipping around the forearm pieces. And very cleverly, you actually shift the wheels down. I like that. And the head is hidden a different way, so that's all kind of cool. And there he is in vehicle mode. Oop, gotta snap the ass end together. Doesn't seem to like to stay 100%, but it still looks cool. Yeah, maybe a quality control issue with this not wanting to push in all the way. Woo-hoo. But still a cool looking car, and I'd probably display him more in robot mode. And of course, weapon storage. Disappointing after Breakdown had weapon storage under the car is that, you know, it just goes on the back. Still overall, a decent Dead End. I like the stripe. I like the homage to the original. And because of his feet, he can actually like shoot higher. So if he is shooting up, that's kind of a bonus. I don't think they really talk about it. All right, now the moment you've been waiting for. So we need to take apart this thing. All right, Stunticons merge into MENASOR.
Stunticons, unite! Behold, MENASOR!
Doesn't take as long on the show, but. All right, before I go further, I just want to show you, this is just Motormaster and his trailer. You've probably seen pictures of it. And he's pretty much a Titan all by himself without the other Stunticons. Hard to put entirely in frame. So there he is without any of the cars attached. And apparently this doesn't go anywhere on him. I think that'd be overkill anyway. God damn, they make it look so easy on the show. So here he is in all his glory. Unfortunately, the close-up cam cuts off his head. Man, I really don't feel like moving it. So close up, close up. Here he is. Now, I gotta say, he does make a handsome looking MENASOR, but the posability in his arms seems to go away as soon as you attach Stunticons. So it bent nicely, but unless you, never mind. Apparently, I'm an idiot. Don't mind me. I was a little loath to potentially break my Transformers here, but I take back what I just said. So apparently Dragstrip and Dead End are basically break in two. And so it becomes a much nicer posability. You don't need to break the other guys in two in order to use the joints, but now that I figured out that part, because it's not very clear, oops, in the directions. And I gotta say, these leg joints, very similar to Combiner Wars. The arm joints, not so much, but this is the first time I'm ever doing this with a combiner. But we're gonna check it out. Full Jean-Claude Van Damme, toes up, bends at the knee, a little stiff. Swivels, twists, ankle rockers. They're not super deep, but they're there. Arms can go all the way around. He bends at the elbow. He can swivel, holy shit. Head turns. This has more posability than some non-combiners. But the legs come off. I'm impressed now, even more so. And you can put his gun in his hand, but I don't see any place to put your weed. So there he is. I mean, kind of bad part about it is that Motormaster basically still makes up the bulk of the body. And these guys basically are power-ups, add-ons. But a really nice version of Menasor. I think he looks really cool. Oh, I'm trying to figure out, I guess these go up, so he's got like weird knees. I gotta say, I like this Menasor. It's a pain in the ass now that he's in this mode. Probably gonna go on a shelf and never come out of this mode again until I have to compare him to whatever the next line Menasor is. He's pretty hefty. The plastic, again, on the trailer kind of felt a little bit cheapy, but it's not too bad. And he holds together well, so I would recommend him. It's just a little disconcerting having to break two of my Stunticons. And these heels, they're very stabilizing, but they can slide forward easily when you lift them up if you're not careful. But I like him, so some of the earlier releases might not be as easy to find at retail, though I still see drag strips all the time at Wally World, Walmart. You know what I mean. I'm gonna put links in the description to all these guys at several different retailers and on eBay, just so if you haven't gotten them, I think it's worth getting. I mean, depends on what you want to do with him. I would say that it was a pretty complex transformation to put him into Menasor form, especially with all the folding, but he looks really good. And considering some of the third parties out there, he's actually not bad. And I like how even his, on the back here, Motormaster's arms go into a place and look like they serve a purpose and they don't look out of place. So he looks good, I think, from all angles. There's no little car that goes in the trailer, which is unfortunate. He can apparently use this. It would be kind of cool if all these merge together, but they don't really look like they do that. Oh, and here's a real quick size comparison. G1 Combiner Wars, well, G2 version, and the new Legacy. But overall, I like it. Just, again, disconcerting to have to break apart these guys. And the instructions really don't talk about it. While you're debating about this Menasor, check out this one over here from Combiner Wars. It's the G2 one, but you can see a different version of the character. And again, links in the description. I hope you're enjoying our videos. We'll see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.